Okay, so I want to show you how we can bring your clinic 4 new patients in the next 12 weeks using our Aesthetic OS, and it's guaranteed results or we're going to give you a 100% refund. Now, 90% of med spas and aesthetic providers are stuck in the same position, and they believe that they don't need marketing and they aren't generating enough awareness on their offer and their treatments. But the truth is, quite literally every single business needs marketing, and to get people to buy from you, they need conviction in your offer. Word of mouth, doing everything yourself, and relying on marketing agencies will not get you past $5 million in ARR. When you're doing this, you have no control over your business and you're just leaving it up to hope. This blueprint that I'm about to show you will give you the ability to make over $600,000 in the next 6 months. So would you think it might be valuable to read it? Now, by the end of this, you'll know how to take back control of your clinic, scale past $5 million in ARR in the next 24 months. If you're currently doing inconsistent months with annoying low ticket patients where uncertainty has just become the norm that you've accepted, if you're dealing with marketing agencies that only bring in low quality shared leads that you still have to call, you're getting ghosted by unqualified leads who don't have the money and just seem to speak to you because they're bored, or you've tried a lot of different marketing strategies from Facebook ads, partnerships, events, and none of them really seem to stick, then listen up. I want to show you how to generate 4 patients in only 12 weeks using our Aesthetic OS without having to take any more phone calls or deal with any more marketing agencies that are just going to scam you out of $2,000 to $5,000 per month just for low quality Facebook leads. Now, the proof is in the results. This system generates high ticket treatments for med spas because Victoria went from 40,000 to 120,000 in only 120 days. Victor went from calling leads 24/7 and booking only 1 procedure per day to booking 11 per day. Gregory got over 800 leads in only 6 months, which equates to $600,000 in revenue without spending a dollar on ads. And Kevin went from being unprofitable to taking home $30,000 in only 8 months. Now, these are some of the successes that we've gotten: a $23,000 Rhino lead, and then also all these consultations that we are booking for our partners. Now, most med spas or clinics have tried at least one of the following solutions: from meta ads, organic content, SEO, in-person events, buying new devices, word of mouth, memberships, hiring new staff members like sales reps, and investing in premium technology. Now, these methods can work, of course, but they only generate leads or they're unsustainable in the long run. Now, the best med spas and doctors don't get rich by using these things that waste time and money. They take control of their business by implementing back-end systems that give them a unique edge in the market. Now, most med spas fail because they let themselves spiral downwards. The first thing is that they lack predictability because they're relying on external influences for lead flow, like Facebook and marketing agencies, and if they're purchasing leads, and all these different things are external influences. They have no control and they have no centralized meaning in your business. Number 2 is because you have the lack of predictability, you get into desperation mode. You wake up every day calling on your leads, just hoping for someone will turn it to a client, and maybe even get to people a little late within a few days. Because of that, you now have low profit margins. You might be busy, but you're not taking home any cash, no profit, and you begin to struggle financially. Once you struggle financially, you're eventually going to potentially destroy at-home relationships, putting them at risk because a lack of cash flow will start to manifest itself into relationships. That's why the number 1 cause for divorce is financials, because if you're stressed, of course, your relationships are inevitably going to suffer. Now, what if the reason your med spa is struggling wasn't because you weren't working hard enough or that you just didn't get enough people to refer you, and everything to do with the amount of leverage you acquire in a predictable lead generation system? Now, problem number 1 is the lack of procedure predictability due to an inconsistent lead flow. So consistent high ticket patients are going to determine your med spa's success. So lacking this will have you falling behind. It doesn't matter if you work 60-hour weeks or if you've been in business for 30 years. If you aren't the center of attention, then your business will fail. The one thing that most med spas or doctors do is that they're relying more on luck than actually implementing a predictable system into their business. Now, I'm sure you've dealt with marketing agencies before, and they all have the same story. They take a monthly retainer from you, run Facebook ads, get low quality leads, get no results or average results, and then you just fire them, and then you go on. For some reason, you want to start again, you want to find another one. That is the marketing agency trap. You just have random people opting in through your ads that are just fake names or people who are bored, and without a proper system in place, you get stuck having to reach out to these people yourself. And competition is at an all-time high. So running Facebook ads just won't cut it anymore because it's not 2020. You need to have your unique stance in the market and get consistent leads that are actually valuable to you and your clinic. With our system, we create an infrastructure that you can leverage market-informed content and ads, and we use this data to create your winning funnels and sales processes to teach your patients or your eventual patients, the patients that are going to inevitably be converted through this funnel, to think in transformations and not single visits. Now, problem number 2 is that competition is at an all-time high. If you just look on Facebook and all the ads that are being ran, the competition in the industry is very high. However, as you can see, every med spa is literally doing the exact same thing. Clearly, as an entrepreneur, if you see this 50 to 60 people running basically similar ads and similar offers, why are you even wasting money on them? You're not special. The customer's just not going to choose you. I hate to break it to you, but instead of just being like everyone else and complaining that the industry is too saturated and you don't want to even get into it and it's not even worth it, you need to do something that'll get you to stand out as an expert. Now, Peter Thiel, he's a venture capitalist and he's the co-founder of PayPal. He said that competition is for losers. So if you feel threatened and worried by competition, you will not succeed. Now, every single industry has competition. Every single industry that you can think of, competition isn't a threat. It's an opportunity for you to approach the market with a unique mechanism and solve people's problems in a unique and novel way. Now, finding this can be time consuming, but being an Axelate.io partner, we will build your unique mechanism and take it to channels that position you as the expert practitioner so you can stand out from the crowd. Problem number 3 is we are in a trust recession. In 2025, people have so much distrust in everything. And as the aesthetic provider, I'm sure you're aware of the lack of proper education in this industry. That's why people are ghosting you. That's why there's price shoppers and tire kickers. It's not actually because that's the type of person they are. It's because they don't actually trust that you'll actually be able to solve their problems. And this can stem from quite a few things. You didn't dig deep enough into their pain. They have no clarity on your offer. There's gaps in the sales process. And they aren't educated on what you do, who you are, and how you're going to be able to help them. Now, speaking with people who are uneducated are just going to see you as another doctor, and it's the biggest waste of time. Now, getting people to trust you on your own is not easy, and you'll have to go to very great lengths just for them to see you as a human and to buy from you. What you need to do is leverage a sales process that'll educate your leads on your offer and set you as the expert and actually provide value to them. Now at Axelate.io, we fix all those problems for you by implementing our Aesthetic OS, and here's exactly how it works. Now you get to license our end-to-end solution that solves all these problems that I just mentioned above. Problem number 1 is the inconsistent lead flow. To create a predictable lead flow, we get you to focus on these 2 channels, content and paid ads. These 2 channels are a dual pillar presence, allowing you to capture attention for practically $0 and scale fast with affordable paid ads. Now, these 2 pillars communicate with each other by providing data on your ideal client. And if you think about it like this, so we send all the leads to the same place so we can acquire more data on their pain points, their behaviors, their lifestyles, so you get to speak to them. Now, this data allows us to create lookalike audiences on Meta and target new people who are similar to those people that are basically your ICP. So in 2025, data is the gold mine. 2025, 2026, and even 2027. That's why our system works in every single way to gather you necessary information on your market. And you don't have to do anything because we use an AI agent that does all the heavy lifting for you that would normally take you hours. It's going to find a winning transformation offer for you. It's going to identify winning creatives, copy, and headlines that is already being used by the top 1% of clinics in the industry. It's going to generate creatives, copy, and headlines that can already be used that you can only just basically click and manage the entire campaign yourself. And then it's also going to identify industry trends to capture so you don't have to be posting content, going through the trial and error process. You can find exactly what works, film 30 to 60 seconds, and go viral and gain attention with ease. Now, leveraging this will allow you to get a consistent flow of quality leads as they are produced by a backend system that you own. Now, problem 2 and 3 together is that we are in a trust recession and competition is at an all-time high. Now, as you may know, the most important part with actually dealing with a lead is once they come in, how do you convert them onto a consultation? Now, a lot of things can make this hard, like competition, having a busy schedule, and people lacking overall trust with you. Now, first off, we need to mention where we're going to be sending these leads, and that's done through our consultation flow engine. This process is what we like to call downsell the upsell. Once we gather attention for this implementation process, we're going to be sending people to a landing page, lead form, or an inbound call, and then automatically downselling unqualified prospects to your content. So no matter what lead comes in through the ads, either they're going to be qualified for a consultation or they're going to be nurtured through your content and eventually become a high value client in the long run. Now, our appointment setting process will allow you to fix all these problems and get consistent consultations on the back end. Now, we use a management structure of AI agents that handle lead to booking to client. This is why they are better than you and a regular appointment center, because they have 24/7 activity. They can be booking consultations at like 2 a.m. or if you're at the beach or whatever. There are marginal costs, so they're pay per use. You don't have to pay them a salary. There's no sick days, no vacations, no no-shows. 2 minute speed to lead, so they get to people within literally 2 minutes. There's no training required because you prompt them with a knowledge base and they're automatically trained on your clinic. Now, this army of AI agents is the highest degree of leverage that we've seen, and we dedicate one AI agent to oversee the entire process and other AI agents to trigger specific actions, all with one common goal in mind, and that is to book you appointments. Now, if the lead is unqualified, then the downsell agent will trigger sending the lead into the community or your content. Now, most clinics never think about sending people into a community or their content because they're super call hungry, super consultation hungry. But our community and content funnel has been one of the most effective ways to build trust, generate value, and increase the value per consultation. Now, why is content so effective in this process when you're actually running ads and creating this ecosystem? It's basically because once you've centralized your nurturing by building an audience, you turn eyes, which is from the ads, because you're going to be able to, maybe set a daily maximum of $30 to $50 per day. You're getting a lot of attention, but not all these people are going to convert. So you're taking these eyes and turning them into loyal users through your content because you're selling them onto your process. Now, in your content, you need to feed leads with value, and this is done with your content assets that are taken from the industry's most viral frameworks that I mentioned right up here that the AI is also going to find for you. So once you start solving their problems with content, they get into the habit of consuming. I'm sure you're aware, and you probably fall victim to this. I know I do, where I've watching a YouTube video or Instagram Reels or whatever, and I start to consume more and more videos of someone, of an individual, and I start to just kind of consume their content over a long period of time. And I find myself kind of drawn into their community or to their audience or to their kind of mindset and their way of looking at things. And that is kind of how you need to be looking at it when you're creating content as a med spa owner. Then once they get into the habit of consuming, they're going to be more likely to share it with friends, family, and acquiring you a larger audience. That creates you an infinite return realm. So basically, get users in from the paid ads, so you double it. You're paying for consultations, but you're also sending people to the content. You're solving their problems. They're becoming basically indoctrinated onto your process. You're letting the flywheel of word of mouth do its thing. They get into the habit of consuming, they refer you, and you get a larger audience. Now, this is how we structure the community and the content and convert people onto consultations. Once the lead opts into the content, we obviously want to collect their information, right? Because no matter where we send them on a back-end email sequence, we want to make sure we take every single step to convert them onto a pre-sold consultation, or at least take the steps to educate them and to nurture them. So as soon as they opt in, we call them with our 24/7 AI assistant, qualify them, and also uncover the depth of their pain. So if it's Botox, if it's filler, whatever it is, what is the kind of look they want? Do they want a more natural look, a more subtle look? Whatever it is, we find that. And if they're qualified, which 75% of them are, we offer them a consultation. Conversion is so easy because either you set them when they opt in through the ads or through the content, the back-end email sequence. So this is basically in between the moment where you're communicating with them when they opt in, and they're not really answering. They have a back-end email sequence that basically they're going to be consuming more of your content. Or after they've had the call with the AI assistant that's either booked them onto a consultation or that has determined that they're not quite ready. Now, this is an overview of what we just went over. Number one is that relying on referrals or marketing agencies is a massive bottleneck that'll prevent you from scaling. Number two is that most med spas let their companies spiral downwards because they lack control over their marketing process. Number three is we live in a time where competition is at an all-time high, creating a very distrustful society. Number four is leveraging a market-informed system is a must to obtain a consistent lead flow. Number five is stand out from your competition by building a loyal community of quality patients through content. Number six is an AI appointment setting process will allow you to book quality consultations on the back end for marginal costs. And number 7 is a content or community funnel will create infinite return realms for your clinic by using $3 an hour growth specialists that will nurture and run unqualified leads and get them booked onto a consultation for you. So if you're ready to guarantee your med spa success, and if you're serious about growing your company by never lifting a finger for acquisition ever again and securing 4 procedures in only 12 weeks, guaranteed, or we're gonna refund you and work for free until we do, or you just want a free roadmap on how our Aesthetic OS can book you premium consultations and allow you to close over 75% of them, and you just want to see how it could potentially look, then just book your free call down below. But I just want to warn you, we will be closing that booking page after 2 more partners and doubling the price to focus on getting current partners results. So if that booking page is still up, that means we're still taking on partners. So go down below, claim your free roadmap call. We're going to get on a call and we could show you exactly how this Aesthetic OS can look inside your clinic, and we'll see you on the other side.